the NFL, and I am joined by my man, my buddy, my friend, who I have known for over 25 years. We've been doing this thing, and that is Denny Sharman. What's up, Denny?
Mean Gene, glad to be back.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to have you back. Look here, we did our Wednesday night countdown or prediction show, but this show is a little bit different. Okay, this is like, look, 16 games is a lot, okay, for some people. But we thought we would go ahead and just cover 3 games that we consider must see, must watch, because for one reason or another, we will discuss. And the 3 games we're going to be looking at today, the 3 matchups we're going to be looking at today are the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. Denny, we just no way we can ever have you on the show and not talk about the Cowboys.
Hey, Cowboy Nation's still high from last week, so we always got to talk about that.
So that's going to be a good one. And then we have the second game we're going to talk about, which is really a must-see TV. And this is going to be the rematch of the NFC divisional game last year between the defending Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles, and the LA Rams, man. You remember that game in the snow last year?
Man, that was such a dogfight. I remember that one. That's one for the ages.
Yeah, so we're going to cover that one. And then lastly, we will cover the Kansas City Chiefs, the 0-2 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 0-2 New York Giants, which normally wouldn't be a game worth even talking about. But the fact that both teams are 0-2 and the Chiefs were in that Super Bowl last year with the Eagles, I think this is a must watch game this weekend.
There's some must watch in there. There's some must wins in there. Who would have thought KC be 0-2 playing against the Giants with only a 6-point spread? It's a must watch for sure.
It is, Denny. So that's what we're going to be doing today, man. So like I said, Denny, happy to have you on here. And folks, look here, we have been having so much fun here on YouTube. We want you to continue to like the show, share the show, and subscribe to the Sports King show, because we're always going to try to bring you some good quality content. So, Denny, all right. How about we just jump right on in, man? I know this is an interesting game in a lot of ways, because, as you know, Matt Eberflus used to be the coach of the Chicago Bears, and he was there for almost 3 years before he got fired back in November 2024. And then we already know what's going on with Ben Johnson. This guy's looking for his first win. People are wondering, man, okay, what was that magic there in Detroit that he's not able to get in Chicago? So this is a pretty good matchup. You got the 1-1 Dallas Cowboys against the 0-2 Bears. Bears looking for their first win at home.
Yeah, this is going to be a dogfight. I mean, forget what I said last week when I thought the Cowboys were a lock and they were going to be a 2-touchdown win over the Giants. Teams coming out to play, especially when they're hungry, like the Bears here. You're right. Ben Johnson is looking for his first win. He's one of those coaches that people are talking about right now. It's on the hot seat. He's got to win. And I love my Cowboys, but that defense is struggling. So they're giving up a lot of points. They made Russell Wilson look like an MVP last week. They might let Caleb run free too, and they got some guns. They got DJ Moore over there, lighting it up. Caleb's got some firepower, so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to pull back a little bit and say it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a high-scoring game, which might not be so good for the Cowboys, because we can't just keep scoring more than the other team. There's got to be some defense involved here.
Yeah, and I said Bears looking for their first win at home. I mean, Bears looking for their first win in general. Okay?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is what makes this exciting. But look, Cowboys. I mean, Dak Prescott last week, 361 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Not bad. The offense is there for the Dallas Cowboys, and that was something that we knew going into the season, even when after they lost Micah Parsons. But the Bears, the interesting thing about the Bears is that, man, look, we saw what the Detroit Lions done over the last couple of years with Ben Johnson. And, man, I think the Chicago Bears fans are looking for this offense. So We talked about this on the show the other night, Denny. It's like, man, is Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson a good match? I mean, and what's going to happen? What will happen if these guys go 0-3? And there's been rumors that, man, Caleb Williams may not be the right guy for Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I'm wearing my USC shirt, fight on for Caleb too, but and playing against my Cowboys, but it just it's frustrating and it's sad when a good quarterback with some raw talent like Caleb, which I still believe has that, gets stuck in a position where it's almost like a lose-lose. I mean, we can sit here all day long and say they loaded up the offense, they got the line, they surrounded him with players, which most of the time rookie quarterbacks don't get. But he's still not taking him over the hump. And now you're bringing in the new head coach to help him out. You start pointing fingers. That's what you just said. Is they start looking at each other to say, well, who's to blame here? And it's sad because I think if you're in the right positions, like C.J. Stroud was in a better position, Jaden Daniels was in a better positions. Would Caleb do better in those other teams and other offenses? Who knows? But I still think the Bears are gonna there's gonna be some firepower this week. I still hope they don't win against the Cowboys, but I do wish they get something to work off of, and because I think he does have a lot of times people pull the plug too soon on these rookie quarterbacks. I know it's the second year, but these young quarterbacks and don't give them a good deal. And Justin Fields is a great example coming out of Chicago, had to go to Pittsburgh. And then now I think this might be a better home, even though he's not having the best success. He's still looking good with the Jets over there in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I like this game because there's so much talent in this game. On the Bears side, we're talking about Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, Romy Odunze, even DJ Moore. So that's and they got two good tight ends over there, Komet and Loveland, right? So, and looking at the Cowboys, man, look, we saw what they did last week in that Giants game. That was some must-see TV as well, man. Putting up over 70 points down there in that game. So you got Dak Prescott, Javonte Williams is surprisingly playing good football, even though he didn't do a damn thing for me when he was on my fantasy team for all those years, right? So you still got Miles Sanders to back him up, and CeeDee Lamb, and even George Pickens and Kevontae Turpin is always a threat. So, Denny, the question's coming up, man. Who do you like in this game here?
I still like the Cowboys, but as you mentioned, everybody on the offense, you didn't mention anybody on the defense, and that's the problem with the Cowboys. And I heard one of the commenters speak to, well, if Micah Parsons is here, would you be able to disrupt anything for just Russell Wilson, and could this been a bigger win for the Cowboys? I think the answer is we'll never know, right? But don't put. I don't think you would give him too much credit because the defense. Micah Parsons wouldn't have covered Malik Neighbors, so it's the cover. It's behind the line that they're struggling. So I like the Cowboys still. I think it's going to be another dogfight over 60 points. I think it's going to be a 34-31 type of shootout, which most people were like, "Oh my God, you think the Bears are going to score that much?" I think they will. I think they're going to light up the defense, the Cowboys defense again.
Wow. Well, look, I'm looking forward to seeing that game as well as this one here. The man, look here. This is a rematch of we just saw a rematch of the Super Bowl. Now we're going to see a good rematch of a divisional game last year, NFC divisional game, where the Rams went up to Philly to take on the Eagles. Now, look, they were fresh off of beating the Vikings and eliminating Sam Darnold, right? So then they go to Philly and they take on the Eagles in a Snow Bowl, I guess you want to call it like that. I mean, it's always interesting to see West Coast teams play in the snow because you don't know how they're going to do, right? But the Rams did pretty damn good. Look, that game was 28-22, really, really close. It was that close. But Saquon Barkley was just too much Saquon Barkley running around in that snow. Dude had 205 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I don't know what the Rams are going to do different than what they did last year. There's no snow now because we're in September, but what a game that was.
Yeah, and that's what probably all the tape that the Rams are looking at is how they're going to stop Saquon. Because if they watch any of the first two games for the Eagles this year, it's been all the ground and pound on the run side, with including Jalen. Right, they haven't had any passing touchdowns. You haven't heard too much from AJ Brown, Devontae
Mm-hmm,
Smith.
mm-hmm,
And it's been all Jalen with his tush pushes and his
mm-hmm.
running, scoring touchdowns. Saquon has not missed a beat, which we always think when a running back with that many yards is going to have a little bit of hangover. Oh, he hasn't skipped a beat. So if I was the Rams, I'd be trying to slow down the run and take your chances against the pass because they've been struggling with that passing game.
Yeah, I guess the only difference in with these two teams facing each other, with a big difference there is Devontae Adams now is there instead of
Yep.
Cooper Cup, and he'll be there to on the opposite side of Puka Nakua, who is just lighting things up. He's still doing what he does. I think Kyron Williams could have a good game in this one. But look, you said it earlier, Denny. We haven't seen much of AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, which makes things scary for the Eagles. I mean, look, when you got Saquon Barkley that does it all, right? I mean, he just does so much for this team. And I mean, and then Jalen Hurts does what he does when they get into that little tush push thing there. But man, you got to think that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith gonna have a breakout game here much sooner than later.
Yeah, I think, and you're right. It could be this game, but like I don't want to forget what you said about Devontae Adams. That's a nice backup plan to Puka Nakua is to have Devontae Adams, who that's some confidence builder right there for Stafford. I think that double threat is gonna as the more and more they start playing together, that's only gonna get better. But I mean, AJ Brown ain't going nowhere. I think if this ain't the breakout, it's coming soon. When it does, it's gonna be huge because I mean, he's such a huge target. And Devontae Smith, I mean, they won the Super Bowl last year, and I want to say they're barely winning these first two games. I mean, it was a dogfight against the Cowboys, a dogfight against the Chiefs, without any passing. But you're right. I mean, maybe this is the breakout, or it's going to be there soon. But if the run game, the Rams are able to stop the run game, they can always go to that passing game, which that's scary. That is scary to always have to worry about both sides.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's one of those must-see games to watch here. It's on our watch list here. Not to mention that both teams are 2-0. I mean, it's early in the season, but we're talking about the Rams and the Eagles, right? 2-0. We're getting these great matchups here early in the season here, but this is definitely one. Look, regardless of who wins this game, I still think both of these teams, Denny, are going to be playing in January. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, yep, I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. So who you liking this one?
I'm gonna hot take: Rams 27, Eagles 21.
You know what? You would say that because you're a Cowboys fan, right?
No,
You
I,
want. I know you want the Eagles to lose, man.
I think the Rams are smart enough, and McVay is still smart enough to watch some videos and monkey see, monkey do. Watch how the Chiefs played against the Eagles and how they were able to slow it down a little bit, and they're gonna take the chances against that arm, and I think they'll come out ahead.
All right, man. Look here. I don't know. When we did our predictions, divisional predictions early in the year, and that was an exciting show. So, folks, if you get a chance, just go back in your YouTube history or just look at our page here on YouTube, and you'll see our AFC West division predictions. And I think everyone, Dustin, Jacob, they looked at me like I was stupid when I said that Kansas City was not going to win the AFC West. And so far, I'm looking like a genius, which is part of my name, right? Mean genius. So,
or you got the script that nobody else got.
yeah. I was able to kind of look at things. But look, man, one reason why this is this is on our watch list, and this is a must-see game to watch because look at this, man. The Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2, and they're going to be playing at MetLife Stadium, taking on the New York Giants, who are also 0-2. I mean, hey, this time last year, if these two teams had played, this would not be a game worth talking about because the Chiefs would have beat them by 20 or 30 points. But I don't know, Denny. I mean, what's going on with the Kansas City Chiefs in your opinion?
Well, everybody's been talking. It's almost talking it to be true. Is that this is the end or near the end? They're going to have a big hangover. I mean, they had a huge run of Super Bowls, but I think the main thing here is everybody's getting a little older, but everybody else is watching too. Everybody else has been figured out what the Chiefs have and what they're able to do. Xavier, let's not forget Xavier Worthy not being there was a huge
Mm-hmm.
hit in the first game against the Chiefs. So having somebody like that, where Kelsey's
Well,
losing
not
a
to mention
step,
Rice.
and
I
Rasheed
said not to
Rice,
mention Rice. Yeah,
but Kelsey also losing a step every year.
yeah,
Worthy would have been a huge upgrade or a
yeah.
step up for Mahomes there. And watching so much of Mahomes, he only has so many tricks in his book, right? But
Mm-hmm.
um, I think what you predicted of them being, having a hard year and struggling year to even get back in the playoffs is, and there's some facts behind that, not just a gut guess, but I think you're right. I think they're just struggling with not having everybody healthy, not having the firepower, and this could be one of those ones. Giants were a huge letdown. They should have had that game against my Cowboys, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but huge letdown. But they also got some bright spots. I've seen neighbors come up. Russell Wilson looking like an MVP
Oh
again.
my God.
But I think also this might be a reality check for the Giants because they did play against a weak Cowboys defense. The Chiefs defense is still solid, um, and you still have. I mean, Mahomes has been there and done that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that. I think you'll see the stat probably across the game. He's never lost, or maybe it's rare. Somebody'd have to fact check 3 games in a row, which is just crazy.
It is, did it? But man, but if you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, first of all, look who would thought they would be looking for their first win here going into Week 3, right? Both teams looking for their first win. But if you've watched the two games that the Chiefs have played, I mean, you're seeing Mahomes. Uh, I mean, he's the best runner on the team so far. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
Pacheco is struggling, and Kareem Hunt is struggling. They don't have a run game, which is crazy. Now they limited on the passing game because he doesn't have Rice or they knew they was going to be without Rice for 6 weeks, right? So, but they did bank on Worthy, which you could tell by that first game of the season, man. He was heavy into that offense, and unfortunately, he didn't, even get to finish that game. But you caught it with Kelsey, missing the step, and that's a tight end. Defense is already familiar with him, so that leaves what Hollywood Brown and Thornton, who Mahomes is just not that familiar, with hitting Thornton a lot. I think Thornton is going to be okay. But man, there's reason to to wonder if they can beat the Giants because look, man. First of all, Russell Wilson, the chances of him, throwing for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns
Yeah.
again, that probably ain't gonna happen. But
No.
the fact that it did happen, and they got this game at home now. I mean, those Giants fans are going to be excited just to have them at home. But look, look what he was able to do, and those 450 yards went to Malik Neighbors. They went to Wandale Robinson, and how he's spreading it around. Look, they still got Tyrone Tracy, and how about a crowd favorite Cam Scatterboo? Man, there's
Hmm.
reason. I don't know what the spread is on this. I haven't looked at the.
Six and a half KC.
That's a lot to go on the road when you're struggling as a KC team, and you're gonna go and beat a team that just was in a shootout in a game that they should have won, like you said. I don't know, man. I would not be surprised if the Giants won this game.
Ooh, that would send a lot of people over there in Kansas City in a panic attack, right? but that's why it's must see. 0-2 teams being must see TV.
It's
That's
crazy.
what the storyline is right there, right? Because
It's a
go
crazy
ahead.
storyline because
Yeah,
we wouldn't normally. I mean, it's still an early season, but the fact that the Giants has never been part of anybody's must see.
yeah, exactly.
So,
I'm
I mean, the fact that, man, look, hey, and Jackson Dart, man, he's watching Russell Wilson do this stuff last week, going, "Damn, I'm never going to get in the game, man."
yeah.
I mean,
Ooh.
that's got to be crazy, man. So, hey, did it? Well, look, those are our must. Those are our three watch lists for Sunday that's coming up here. And look, we could have easily threw in the Detroit Ravens game, but we wanted to keep it short here because these are the Sunday games that I think everybody should be focusing on, man. But then it's always a pleasure to have you, man.
And pleasure. I'm glad we can always chat and catch up. Me and Jane. Thanks for having me. Can't wait. Can't wait to see how our predictions turn out next week.
Well, yeah, like we always like to do, we grade our papers here on the Sports King, so we'll see. We'll see. I didn't change any of my picks, so I don't know if I even gave any picks here, but I definitely didn't want to get caught, contradicting myself. But anyway, hey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, folks. Like it, leave your comments, whatever you think. If you found this information to be informative, if you want to challenge me and Denny or the sports
Yeah.
teams, you can do that at any time and share, but mainly subscribe to this show because we're trying to do our best here to give you some good information. I mean, we have covered you know football for a long time, Denny and I, and as well as Dustin also. So we kind of know what we're talking about. We've been around a
Kinda.
little bit,
Yeah.
kind of know. I mean, All right, Denny, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here, man. But appreciate it, and then folks, look here, we'll come back next week with a watch list or a recap or whatever we do, and enjoy the weekend and enjoy the Sunday games.
All right.